Hey there, friends. My name is Jeff Fritz. Welcome back to the Ask a Developer series. And today, I'm at TechBash, and I'm joined by Andy Schwam. Andy, it's so good to see you.
How are you, Jeff?
Doing well. Now, in case folks don't know who you are, why don't you give a quick intro?
Okay, so I'm Andy Schwam. I'm a Microsoft MVP, Philadelphia-based. I'm one of the organizers of TechBash, and it's a great little conference up here in Pennsylvania, in the Poconos. www.techbash.com.
There you go.
Check it out. And I do architecture stuff, web development, C#, all kinds of good stuff.
My gosh. So you've seen a lot of content on the web that you've learned from, right? You've distilled some of that down and taught your fair share of conference sessions.
Sure.
But now, when you go online, do you prefer seeing like tech blogs? Do you like seeing white papers, or just reading documentation on some of those products, frameworks directly? Do you like someone to boil it down for you in a blog post?
I like a blog post. I actually like opinions on things, and sometimes with a blog post, you tend to get a little bit more of an opinionated kind of version of things. I like to hear compare and contrast, in addition to just straight out, here's how you do it, but here's another way you might have done it, or compared to maybe a different framework or an older version of things. I like that sort of dialogue within the content
that
itself.
That inner dialogue from the author.
Yeah, exactly, right.
I like, and let me know if this sounds with you. When you see the author write something like, I chose to do it this way instead of my former way because, and they give you that little nugget of information.
Well, the because is critical, because we all know there's a lot of ways to do something.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right? And so, a lot of times in some simple examples, someone will say, well, here's how you do something. If you don't get the why, then I might take that way they did it and apply it in too many cases where it's not appropriate, right? So it's kind of important to have a little bit of the background.
Okay.
Right?
You end up with the golden hammer problem.
You don't want a golden
hammer. Using the same tool everywhere because it just works.
Right. Now, there's different types of documentation, but that's the kind of stuff I enjoy reading up on. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you do see blog posts like that, do you like to see some mixed media with it? Do you like to see images and diagrams with it, or do you just like seeing them get down to text and code?
Yeah. So I will say that it sort of depends on the situation, right? If I'm doing like long form learning, where I'm like it's really, video's great.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right. Obviously, video's great for that. However, sometimes you're just looking for that snippet to solve your problem. And in a video, it's like, I got to find that spot in the video where I want it, something like. And of course, anytime there's code, whether it's in a video or whether it's in a blog post, the code snippet is important. Like, I don't want to have to always retype what they did in the video.
Sure.
Right? So I like to see a code sample.
Okay.
But I think it really has to do with sort of the length. Like, let's say I want to learn something on day one. Like, I don't know this thing at all.
Sure.
Videos are great. I like to spend an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, in deep dive or really get a nice intro in a video. But and it's an opinionated thing. Some people like even short 30-second, like, here's how to do this clips. I actually like to read those.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a personal preference. Yeah.
There's something to really getting that very quick and to the point how to versus a full tutorial.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
Interesting.
That's the way I break it down.
For sure. Now, last question. What makes those how-tos or tutorials or blog posts, what makes them developer-friendly to you?
Well, one of the pet peeves I think a lot of us have, and what makes it really developer-friendly if it follows the good thing, is that it's updated. Okay?
Oh.
We run into a lot of situations. It's current.
Okay.
Now, that's a really hard problem. I mean, I know this firsthand. I honestly don't always go up and update. Blog posts you don't always expect to be current. But real documentation, if I'm going to like a vendor or I'm going to a source, like it's really important that that these things are current, or at the very least, version number is mentioned in the tutorial.
Very clear that this applies to this version number.
Right, because things move really fast nowadays.
For sure.
As you know, things move really fast. So I think that is that's important. Accuracy is important. That sounds probably silly to say, like it should be accurate, but it's not always.
That's a bad problem to have.
Test it, and you know what? And I have a pet peeve about. So I actually did some journalism in college, right?
Okay.
And so we learned the art of proofreading, right?
Yes.
And large media outlets are guilty of this as well. I'll go to, like, I don't want to give names, but, major TV networks and things like that. I'm reading their news, and there's spelling errors. And to me, that's just unprofessional.
Sloppy.
It's just sloppy.
Yeah.
So it's those little things that give me confidence that the content is going to be right, because it's actually proofread, it's validated and stuff like that, and things like that. I don't know, that's a couple of ideas.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, Andy. I
Oh, my
appreciate you
pleasure.
taking a few minutes to talk to me here.
Thanks.
On another Ask a Developer video.